At least 20 people have now been killed in anti-corruption clashes in Nepal.
This week, the streets of the capital, Kathmandu, convulsed with violence.
The death toll now stands at over 70 after anti-corruption protests led to police clashes and a host of buildings in the capital being set aflame.
What happens when young people get fed up, not just with politics, but with corruption, inequality, and censorship, and decide they won't just complain, but act? Nepal's Gen Z uprising might just be the spark that changes more than just Nepal. It could force US aid, regional stability, and global diplomacy to wake up. What's happening? A social media ban triggered massive protests led by Nepal's younger generation, known as Gen Z. They were already frustrated with unemployment, corruption, nepotism, and lack of opportunity. Protests turned violent. Buildings burned. Government officers clashed with protesters. Dozens died. Thousands were injured. The Prime Minister, KP Sharma Oli, was forced to resign. Parliament was dissolved. An interim government under former Chief Justice Sushila Karki was formed. New elections scheduled for March 5, 2026. Why this matters beyond Nepal? US aid and foreign relations. The US and other donors often condition aid on stability, rule of law, human rights. A chaotic transition could force them to revise or delay aid disbursements. It could also affect how Nepal aligns with India, China, and regional powers. Regional stability. Unrest in Nepal risks spillover effects, economic, political, or through refugee flows into neighboring countries. Also, neighboring states watching this will see how youth mobilization can shift politics. Precedent for digital/grassroots democracy. Gen Z used social media, online organizing, digital voting, or forms of digital consensus to pick leadership and exert pressure. That changes expectations for how governments are held accountable. Risk of backlash and irregular transitions. Transition governments are fragile. There's risk of human rights abuses, crackdowns, or power vacuums if the interim government fails to deliver reforms or elections. What could happen next? The interim government under Karki needs to deliver free, fair elections, combating corruption, restoring trust, stabilizing the economy, addressing youth demands. International partners, US, UN, NGOs, might offer support, oversight, and conditional aid to ensure reforms and democratic norms are upheld. Private companies and investors will monitor risk, political instability, regulatory unpredictability, social unrest. They may adjust investment plans, supply chain choices. The momentum of digital organizing may lead to more transparency demands, more activism, positive, but also possibly leading to countermeasures or restrictions if governments feel threatened. Watch for how Nepal's interim government handles the next months. Will elections actually be free? Will corruption be reduced or just reshuffled? How will US and regional powers respond? If this fascinates you, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell. Drop a comment. What would you do if your voice felt ignored? Would you join the streets, organize online, or stay silent? Stay aware, stay resilient.